Hey guys, I wanted to take a moment to talk about racism in the church house. I went to this church and I went there for a while. I went there, it was probably like anywhere from, I don't know, 16 to 19 years, something like that. I was originally there, I started going there when I was 5, where our mother took us. Um, it's so crazy because it was a predominantly white church, and they didn't have a lot of black people there, but they had a few here and there that came and went or whatever. But it was primarily a white church, and it was basically just family. And he had everyone, singing and playing and doing things that were basically in his family. And then later, as other people started to come into church, other white people started coming into the church, he started letting them do stuff in the church. But he never let me, my sisters, or really any of the black people that didn't have money, he didn't let them do anything in the church. But then when they started getting people in the church that, maybe had a little money, a little education, doing a little bit, he would let them kind of do, a little something more in the church than black people that didn't necessarily have a lot of money. Um, it was crazy because a lot of times, like sometimes it would be like, well, maybe it's because maybe you're not spiritually where you need to be. And I was like, well, I'm not 18 yet. I'm just a kid. I'm still trying to get there. I'm praying and reading my Bible and studying, and I come to church twice on Sunday. I come on Tuesday. I come to the revivals. I go to everything that you guys have. Bible study, everything. And I was like, I'm really working hard on my walk with Christ, and I was really into it. And it was so crazy because much, much later, years later, I found out because it's just like, I don't know, it just came, it just came out that, one of the girls, her name was Wendy, she was married and she had a couple kids or whatever. She was having like all kinds of affairs with different men, including married men, and she was married. So, it happened multiple times, and it just happened like all throughout the course of time that I was there, or whatever. And they never sat her down and made her sit down and think about what she's doing. They always let her play and sing and everything. So I was kind of like, okay, so there's a something going around about maybe I'm not spiritually where I need to be. I'm not even an adult yet, and then this adult is just going through men like wildfire, and she's married, and it's acceptable. So I just kind of felt like there's double standard there, and I felt that some of it had to do with the fact that I was black, and I was just like, man, why in the world is there racism in the church? Everybody needs to be treated equal, regardless. I mean, out in the streets, in the workforce, when you're shopping, I know people always follow me around, and anyway, but so that would never happen. But even, especially in the church, where God's supposed to love everybody, we need to love everybody and treat everybody with respect. And so then after that happened, sometime later, our pastor had this big fiasco, which I won't get into. Whatever, he left, and so we had an interim guy there, and I think we had one or two intern guys there. I'm not sure. But anyways, they started to let us sing a little bit. So we would start to sing a little bit, and get more involved and help out with Sunday school. And it was just fun, because when you are doing everything you can in church and you praying and reading your Bible and stuff, and you are trying to get a relationship with God, it helps when you're doing something constructive in His house. You know what I mean? You're working hard. So we were able to sing and start doing some things, and then we got our pastor, and he got a new pastor and everything. And then me and my sisters, we started doing our group, and we did it with our mom too. She sang some songs with us, and then she said she didn't want to. I said, well, just let us do it. And I played the keyboard for a lot of people. But even this particular pastor, it's like he had some reservations or some issues with black people too. And I know we had one family in the church. They were a family of black people, but they were really, really light skinned people, and they pretty much looked white. And they had money. I don't know where they had the money from, whatever, but they had money, and they were constantly buying stuff for the pastor's wife, taking her out to dinner, doing all kinds of things for her. And I couldn't afford to do that. I had just barely 18, 19, but I was just starting to work a little bit, and I wasn't really making a lot of money, and I didn't have money to do all that with. I mean, I paid my tithes, I gave my offerings. When we had our building funds and stuff, I added to that. When they had little special programs and stuff going on, I gave them money. And it was just like I'm giving everything I can, but I don't have money to wine and dine the pastor's wife. You know, and it's like if you didn't have money, then it's like they didn't really talk to you. They didn't really talk to you that much. Because we had another girl in the church and she had a lot of money. I mean, like millions of dollars, I think, at least a million, probably over that. And she did everything she wanted to do in that church, and she didn't follow any of the rules. And her husband, she had this movie star looking husband. I have to admit, he's a good looking guy. He looked like a movie star, so I know that they wanted someone who looked nice, what I'm saying, as a couple in the church doing things because they like, good looking couples and stuff. And I was just like, why you guys got issues with black people and people with no money, or people who don't have money to spend on you? You know what I mean? It was just like racism again, and I really felt some type of way about it because I just felt like racism does not belong in the church. I don't think it belongs anywhere, but I especially think it doesn't belong in the church. And I just really think that people need to get it together. You need to treat all people equally and treat all people with respect and kindness and love the way Jesus would have wanted you to.